Hello everyone, welcome back to another video on the channel. Today we have received approval for the Bitcoin ETF, the time that we have all been waiting for. However, on this channel we're always looking ahead. We are looking for the next catalyst. We're not buying the cryptocurrencies as they're being discussed. We're looking forward for the next cryptocurrencies, and so we can see Bitcoin's currently trading at $46,577. Now, we did not see a huge spike with that. However, we will see how this reacts in the morning when that ETF trading does go live. Now, we did see a big spike on Ethereum here. We can see Ethereum is actually outperforming Bitcoin. We are up 16% in the last 7 days and only 8.5% on Bitcoin. And so I predicted that a lot of the money is going to be flowing into Ethereum just because there has not been a lot of attention on that. And I personally think it has been lagging behind. So if you're interested in knowing what I am personally buying or selling, you can check out Patreon underneath the video. This will provide access to a Discord chat with my buy and sell alerts. And so I also provided some input here on the Bitcoin ETF this morning, expecting the approval, and then I also went through with my predictions that a lot of institutional investors will start purchasing Bitcoin, and a lot of retail investors will start rotating their cash into Ethereum and altcoins. And so this is a shift that I personally think is going to start happening. Now, we did see a big pump on Ethereum. We kind of got shown what would happen with the fake approval of the Bitcoin ETF yesterday. So this is definitely something to pay attention to. We also have been making great trades in the group here. We are up over 100% on APLH. Now, if you're interested in joining, make sure to check that out. And so in addition to the ETF that was approved today, we have an application for the Ethereum ETF. Now, the final deadline for this is May 23rd. Now, they delayed this until then. However, I do not expect the SEC to wait until May to have an approval for this ETF just because they went ahead and approved the Bitcoin ETF. I think they have much more experience in the cryptocurrency space. Now, when talking about ETFs in the cryptocurrency space, I think it is important to understand that there's going to be other ETFs out there. There's not just going to be a Bitcoin ETF and an Ethereum ETF. There's going to be large cap cryptocurrency fund ETFs. There's going to be privacy ETFs. There's going to be DeFi ETFs. And so these are all going to start happening over the next year or so. And so we know already that Grayscale has applied for 3 new ETFs with the SEC. Now, obviously, they just had their Bitcoin ETF approved. We expect probably that the Ethereum ETF is going to be approved over the next couple of months. And then after that, we're going to start seeing a lot of focus on these market ETF funds. And so we can see here that they have filed for a privacy ETF fund, which will invest 10% in Grayscale's Zcash Trust. The remaining funds will be allocated to relatively liquid listed companies with a market cap of at least $250 million. That confirm overall privacy theme. And so this is very interesting here. We can see on Grayscale's website that they have multiple different assets that are under consideration. One of those assets is Rose, and so Rose is focusing on privacy. They have partnered with Meta. They are building a really established privacy network that I think this cryptocurrency could do extremely well. And so we can see currently that this is trading at an $876 million market cap. I am still surprised that this is not over $1 billion. I think this is severely undervalued. I think there's a lot of potential for this Rose cryptocurrency. Now, I think this could easily hit $2 or $3 during the top of the bull market. And so we can see here as well that there have been wallets that have been continuously accumulating Oasis network. And so we can see that another 10.8 million Rose has been taken off the exchanges by our Coinbase whale just before daily close. And so we have one entity that has accumulated 255.9 tokens since November 2nd. So that's $30 million at the current market value. Now, is that Grayscale continuing to accumulate Oasis protocol prior to launching their privacy ETF? There's definitely a lot going on behind the scenes. Again, it's important to look forward rather than looking right now. Rather than buying Bitcoin, I'd rather buy other assets that people are not talking about and then just play the waiting game, and so I can continue to accumulate until that news does come out. And so in addition to that, we have the Ethereum Cancun update, which is expected to happen in Q1 of 2024. And so this is going to be happening this month or next month, which will increase the scalability, security, and efficiency of the Ethereum network. And so what does that mean? That means they're going to start focusing on layer 2s they're expecting this to benefit lower gas fees on layer 2 transactions following proto-dank sharding. And so this is going to be something very beneficial for Ethereum as well. This is going to be a catalyst for Ethereum. However, in addition to that, it's also going to be a catalyst for layer 2 cryptocurrencies. And so on Twitter here, if you're interested in following me, I am on there as well. I mentioned that it is important to make sure you're paying attention to layer 2 cryptocurrencies as a lot of traders rotate into Ethereum. So there was a major volume spike the second it happened when the previous ETF was announced. However, it was announced that it was fake yesterday. And so we can see here that these layer 2 cryptocurrencies have done very well. Some of these are up substantially. Optimism's now up over $4. We have Metis almost up to $100. We have Matic here over 90 cents. And so you can see these cryptocurrencies are going to continue to do well, especially with the upcoming catalyst and a lot of people moving from Bitcoin or Ethereum into these smaller assets. And so I think this is where a lot of the money is definitely going to be made in the upcoming bull run. And so the last cryptocurrency here that I want to talk about is in the AI space. So this cryptocurrency I've talked about multiple times on the channel here. We have Render currently trading at $4.18. Again, I think there's a ton of potential for this cryptocurrency as they are focusing on GPU. This is the GPU cryptocurrency for AI. Now, they are one of the biggest. There's many other small cryptocurrencies that are doing something very similar. However, there is rumors that Render is working with Apple, and they have been working with Apple for 5 to 10 years, and so they definitely have a very established relationship. And so that will be very interesting to see if that is announced when Apple does release their VR headset. And so in addition to that, Render has started their burn emissions, and so they have their first 2 burn mint equilibrium emissions have been paid with burn and mint live on chain. So we can see here on Solana FM, this is the transaction details. We can see that they had a transaction of 15,000 Render that were burnt, and so that's approximately $60,000. Now, as there's more utilization of Render, they're going to continue to burn this cryptocurrency. And so this is something definitely very positive for the price of that, as this will create deflationary tokenomics. Now, this reminds me of BNB back in 2017. I remember buying BNB around $5. Now BNB went all the way up to $600 and is trading around $350 today. And so there's a lot of potential for these cryptocurrencies that I have mentioned here. Again, especially with Grayscale continuing to accumulate for the privacy fund, whether they're accumulated in Oasis or other cryptocurrencies. I think it is important to pay attention to the upcoming ETFs that could potentially be approved. And so if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it, and I hope to see you in the next video.